Following on from his hit movie Sarah last year, Blacktastic Media is back once again to drop his brand new movie What Have I Done on October 27th. I got sent an early screener for this movie, so a big thank you to Blacktastic for sending that over. However, is the movie any good? Is it worth checking out on October 27th? Well, stick around and let's find out. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel and thank you so much for taking your own time out to check out this review, where I've got to give a big thank you once again to my awesome friend Blacktastic Media for sending me his movie What Have I Done, which is premiering on his YouTube channel on October 27th. Now, going into this review, I'm going to be completely and open and honest with you guys. Although Blacktastic is a great friend, I do have to speak open and honestly about his movie. So when I heard about this movie, the production of it, and a little bit behind the scenes, I was really excited to check this out. Now, I was a fan of Sarah, but I was intrigued to see what was going to be done next. As Blacktastic had mentioned, this was going to be like a werewolf creature movie. So I was like, okay, awesome. We don't see a lot of those nowadays, and I recently last year watched American Werewolf in London for the first ever time and really enjoyed that movie. And I am proud to say here that this movie clocks in at around 49-50 minutes long, and I really enjoyed this movie. I think that the cinematography, firstly, I really like the black and white style that this movie was presented in, because if you watch Blacktastic's own reviews, 99% of the time he shoots in black and white, and the odd time there might be like a colour picture, whatever he decides to do. Anyway, this movie is shot in black and white, and the only colour you see in this movie is the colour red, besides the black and white. So I found that really interesting, and how that was done and executed I thought was really well. I also will say that for me, I think this is an improvement over Sarah, because I feel like in this movie we have the slow tension building of the music playing throughout, but then we also have enough where we are teased with this werewolf character and this design, because we hear about bones being crunched and snapping and all these kind of awful and dreary sounds that makes you feel like, okay, this presence is here, it's watching its victims, it's going to get its victims. But we also learn more as the movie goes on as to the origins of the werewolf and how this all came around. So I really enjoyed the aspect of it, and by the time we get to the payoff in near the third act, when the werewolf does show up, which I'm not going to tell you how that happens or anything like that, it's worth the wait. The design of this werewolf was awesome. It really kind of gave me kind of like throwback times to that American Werewolf in London when that movie was shot. That's what this movie kind of felt like, with obviously a little bit of a modern spin, of course. But I really enjoyed the aspects of this movie, and I really can only admire the skill, the determination, and just the vision that Blacktastic has for these projects that he makes, these movies. And by far, I think this has got to be my favourite movie that he has made. What Have I Done really is a pretty awesome movie. I loved pretty much everything about this, even the slower builder moments, because Blacktastic is known for having slow building moments before you get, and the tension builds to that payoff towards the end. And this movie is absolutely no different to that, but I feel like at the same time, it kind of worked in its favour more for this movie because of that kind of tension building, the eerie, creepy music, and how that all builds up to the point of the reveal of the werewolf. If you've got to ask me in terms of like maybe say like any negatives or anything like that, I kind of wish this movie was a little bit longer, actually, maybe stretched to like the hour mark, and we got a little bit more story about the werewolf and the origins of how this happened. It is explained in the movie, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it isn't, but I would have maybe liked just a little bit more detail. But that's not really a negative per se, and I would also love to have seen what Blacktastic could have done on a bigger budget, because I do know that he was trying to do a Kickstarter fund, and I do know obviously some of that played a factor into this movie, but I do believe that he managed to accomplish a lot for this, and I can only praise him for making this movie. I'm not going to give this movie like a star rating or anything like that, but what I am going to tell you in terms of my overall kind of thoughts and I guess scorn away is check out this movie. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to be really in for a treat. And what better way to release this than on Halloween season? So I hope that you've enjoyed this review. I will leave a link down below to Blacktastic Media's YouTube channel, where this movie will premiere on October 27th. Go check it out. Go tell them that I sent you. And I just want to thank you all for checking out this review. Give the video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And also, if you are interested, I do have a Patreon page for only £2 per month. You get access to early videos, my content schedules, 2x entries in giveaways, to see what goes on the channel, and so much more stuff coming very shortly. And I also want to give a massive thank you to all the people who is part of my Patreon, who are getting those benefits right now. And also I want to give them a shout out on my channel right now, so please go subscribe to all of them and go give them some love. It'd be really appreciated. But yeah, until the next time that I see you, I'll be seeing you later.